Dutch company East India Company reached Taiwan in early 1924. They represented the Dutch government and took over Taiwan. This was during their age of discovery where technology constantly improved. With the arriving of the foreign company, more technology like farming techniques and such were brought to Taiwan. This influenced the income basis of our country even till now. During the Dutch era, they took over Fortress San Domingo, which was built by the Spanish people. They used it as their presidential office. The fort was later used as British embassy and now a tourist attraction. In 1662, the Kochinga family came to Taiwan and successfully took over the island from the Dutch. The battle was along the coast of Taiwan, where both navies fought back and forth and settled in the final battle, the Amping Fort. The Kochinga army won, and his family ruled Taiwan until 1683. However, the Qing dynasty took over in 1693. During this time, they simply viewed Taiwan as a colony and didn't pay much attention, until 1823 when the British companies came to Taiwan for camphor, and both parties started to cooperate. This led to the rise of Dadaoten in 1860 as an international port for exports. In 1874, Japanese army invaded Taiwan. They invaded Taiwan due to 54 Okinawa shipwreck survivors being killed by aboriginals. However, due to the harsh conditions in Taiwan, many soldiers died from disease, so the Japanese government instead asked for the Qing government for compensation. In 1884, the French army invaded the northern part of Taiwan, forcing the Qing government to send an army. During this time, the French army took over Tamsui Port and Penghu Island. After the Qing army won, the Qing government started to take Taiwan seriously. In 1895, the Treaty of Shimonoseki was signed. The original asking from Japan was the Liaodong Peninsula was denied by the Qing government, so Taiwan was forced to be ceded to Japan. The treaty was signed by Ito Himebumi and Li Hongzhang. The Japanese colonization lasted from 1895 to 1945. As soon as Japan ruled Taiwan, opium becomes legal and are imported in bulk, while opium bars opened. In 1900s, Japanese government found large forests on Ali Mountain and started the process of logging. During this time, they built railway systems to officially transfer the log. Nowadays, the Ali Mountain railway system is one of two high-altitude railway systems in the world and a famous tourist attraction. In 1930, a serious clash between Taiwanese aboriginals and Japanese civilians happened, known as the Musha Incident. Taiwanese aboriginals attacked Japanese civilians due to the harsh and unfair treatment from the Japanese government. The government immediately sent army to establish presence. Most of the tribes were wiped out and many tribesmen decided to commit suicide. In 1937, the Second Sino-Japanese War was engaged, and this ultimately led to the long-hating relationship between Chinese and Japanese people. In 1941, Japanese army bombed Pearl Harbor, and therefore America decided to join the Second World War. China and Taiwan quickly joined forces with the Allies and attacked Japanese army in the Pacific area. In 1945, America dropped a nuclear bomb on Hiroshima, and the Japanese government deemed to surrender. 1945 marks the end of World War II. In this same year, Taiwan set up its own government, the Republic of China. Right after this erupted the largest conflict between native Taiwanese and Taiwanese residents from China. The incident occurred on February 28th, and so it's known as the 228 incident. The government used armed forces to deal with the violence caused from both parties. Even till now in 2019, there are still many different opinions from both parties, and sometimes violence can take place. The year 1951 was important for the new Taiwanese government as the Treaty of San Francisco was signed in the presence of all 48 allies ordering Japan to give up Taiwan as a colony. This marks the end of the Japanese colonization era. Ever since the new government came to Taiwan, the island has been ruled under martial law. Countless civilians are taken to jail simply by an accusation of treason with no evidence needed. In 1970, Taiwan willingly left the United Nations due to conflicts with the People's Republic of China on which party should represent the country China. The next year, Taiwan and America severed international relationships. This is a major diplomatic moment for Taiwan as America is no doubt one of our strongest allies. In 1987, the Taiwanese government announced that we're no longer ruled under martial law and our government will be run democratically. In 1988, Li Denghui becomes the first elected president of Taiwan. He also orders the entire Congress to reform in order for the government to accept new voices. Today, Taiwan has since been a democratic, free, and warless country ever since it self-governed. We have become a major economic region in Asia, and most importantly, a global partner in pushing democracy forwards.